Good morning, student. In this video, I shall discuss the different phases of sexual reproduction. As we have already discussed about the asexual reproduction in the organisms, in different lower organisms, in case of plants, in case of some animals. Now, in this video, we shall discuss the different phases of sexual reproduction. Now, what is sexual reproduction? In this reproduction, normally the gametes are involved in this process, the male gametes and the female gametes. Sometimes they are isogametes or anisogametes. Now, there are two different organisms, like a male organism and a female organism. They are also involved. So that is why, in case of sexual reproduction, it is an advanced type of reproduction in compared to the asexual reproduction. And the genetic variation is the most important factor here, because the offspring are having some different character from their parents, some new character develop in their body. So that is why the genetic variation leads to the adaptation of the different characters in the offspring, as well as in the long run it leads to the evolution. Now, what are the important phases of this sexual mode of reproduction in plants as well as animals? Because normally this sexual mode of reproduction occurs in the higher plants and animals. Now, mainly the sexual mode of reproduction divided into three important phases. Now, first important phase, that is your juvenile phase. This juvenile phase, it is the early phase of the organism, or it is also called the pre-reproductive phase. This is called pre-reproductive phase. And during this pre-reproductive phase, the organisms are sexually immature. That means they are sexually immature. So that is why in this phase normally the growth of the organism occurs mostly and the growth becomes faster. So that is why in the early stage they grow in size, and after the growth normally they develop certain characters in their body, and that is why normally their duration of course vary from organism to organism. The duration varies. Sometimes, suppose in case of plants, some plants are either seasonal plants or annual plants. In case of annual plant, in one season, or you can say these are the seasonal plants. And this seasonal plant, they normally survive for one season. For example, the paddy plant. So the paddy plant survive for 3 to 4 months. So that is why within 3 to 4 months they grow, and after that sexually mature, and they also die. So that is why the juvenile phase, or that is the pre-reproductive phase, is short here. But sometimes some plants are biennial in nature. Biennial means they are survive for 2 years. Then the first year they grow, and in the second year, in the first year, they normally grow in size or growth occurs, and in the second year, normally in the second year, the flowering and fruiting occurs. That means the flowering occurs and the fruits are formed, and after that they will die. So that is why it takes for 1 year for growth and another year for reproduction. That is the production of the new organisms, although you can say flowers and the fruits. Now, in case of some perennial plants, the perennial plants, for example, the plants which are normally survive for many years, in those cases, the juvenile period is very much prolonged. You can take the example of coconut plant. Normally, the coconut plant takes about 20 years for flowering. After 20 years, the flowering occurs. So that is why these plants, they have a very long juvenile phase. But in case of animals, normally the animals, their juvenile phase also different from organism to organism. For example, in case of rats, their juvenile phase is very short. Their juvenile phase is few months. But sometimes you can take the case of human being. In case of human being, their juvenile phase continue for around 12-13 years or around 13-14 years. And after that, they become sexually mature. The adolescent stage occurs, and after that, the organisms are sexually mature and they start their reproductive process. And other animals like your elephant, their juvenile phase is also very long. So that is why on the basis of their lifespan, their juvenile phases are different. Normally, after the completion of this juvenile phase, when this juvenile phase is completed or this pre-reproductive stage is completed, then they enter into the next phase, that is called your reproductive phase. This is the reproductive phase. But there is a transition phase. It is called the adolescence phase in case of higher mammal, adolescence in case of human being. So it is a transition stage between the juvenile and the reproductive phase. Normally in the juvenile phase it may be infancy, childhood, early childhood, late childhood, etc. But after that they enter the adolescent stage, and during this adolescent stage, normally the sexual development occur or sexual characters develop in the organism. And in case of males and the females, they have different characters and different sexual characters, and these sexual characters develop in their body, and they gradually sexually mature, and the male gametes and female gametes start producing there. So that is why this is the first phase, that is called juvenile phase. After the completion of the juvenile phase, normally some important sex hormone, in case of animal, there are the sex hormones are released, and this sex hormone is responsible for the development of the different sexual characters in the body of the males and the females. And in case of plants, there are also certain hormones that are called the phytohormone, and these phytohormones are responsible for the flowering in the plant. So that is why after the juvenile phase, these hormones are secreted. After that, the flowering occurs. After flowering, the pollination, fertilization, etc. occur. So after this juvenile phase, now the next phase, it is called the mature phase, or it is also called the reproductive phase. And during this reproductive phase, normally the sexually mature organism, or the organisms which were in the juvenile phase, they become immature, and during this phase they are sexually mature due to the secretion of certain hormone called the sex hormones in case of animal. And in case of plant, these hormones are the phytohormones, and which are responsible for the flowering also. Now, this mature phase, it is also called the reproductive phase. It is called the reproductive phase. And during this reproductive phase, normally the hormones play an important role here, and these hormones, normally the hormones play an important role, and these hormones are called the sex hormones in case of animal, and in case of plants, these are called the phytohormone, sex hormone in case of animals. But in case of plants, these hormones are called the phytohormones or the plant hormones, and these phytohormones of GM, gibberellin, cytokinin, etc., they help in the process of flowering after the juvenile phase or the pre-reproductive phase. And during this reproductive phase, what happens? In case of plants, normally the most important event, that is the flowering, and this flowering is the important phase of this reproductive phase. Now here what happens? Normally the flowers which are found in some plant, the flower are normally flowering occurs once in their life cycle. So in their life cycle once occur, that is why they are called monocarpic plant. And this monocarpic plant, sometimes they are either annual plant, and this annual plant, normally their flowering occurs only once. In case of, as we have already discussed, in case of paddy, or in case of wheat, or in case of maize, the flowering occurs once in their life cycle, and within one season or 1 year they die. But sometimes these monocarpic are either biennial. Biennial means what? Normally they survive for 2 years, but flowering occurs once only. First year, that is growth occurs, and in the second year, normally what happens? The flowering occurs. So that is why after second year, for example, the radish, carrot, then beet. So these are the common examples of the biennial plant, and they flower once in their life cycle, but they survive for 2 years only. and after the flowering they die. Now some are polycarpic plants. This polycarpic plant, normally the flowering occurs many times. Many times means what? Suppose in case of mango, every year flowering occurs, but once in a year. Once in a year. In 1 year only once flowering occurs in case of mango, guava, etc. But sometimes in some plants there continuous flowering occurs. In case of China rose, there is continuous flowering occurs. So these are China rose. So continuous flowering occurs, but of course there is no formation of the fruits or seeds occur. So here in case of polycarpic, in case of mango, guava, etc., they are having the flowers every year, but the plant is perennial, but the flower and fruits that form every year. Now in case of animal, normally in case of animals what happens, their reproductive pattern is different from that of the plant. In case of plant, normally their reproductive pattern depends upon the flowering, and after the formation of the flower, then the gametes are formed in the gametes, then they fuse together, they transfer from one part to another, or from the anther to the stigma, that is called pollination. After that fertilization will occur. But here what happens, in case of animal, some animals are either unisexual in nature. Unisexual means it is also called dioecious. And this dioecious plant, they are having the male organism are quite different from the female organisms, and they have a clear sexual dimorphism is observed. Clear sexual dimorphism. So just take an example of human males and females. The characters of the males are totally different from that of the characters of the female. In case of cock and hen, the character of the male characters are different from that of the female character. So that is why they are easily distinguishable from the external appearance. So that is called sexual dimorphism. But in some lower animals, like your earthworm, in case of earthworm, normally both male and the female gametes are produced in the same individual, because here in case of male the testis is present and the male gametes are produced like a spermatozoa, and in case of female ovary is present, inside the ovary the egg cells are formed. But earthworm is the lower animal, and here what happens, it is bisexual in nature. Bisexual means what? Both male and the female organs are present here, like your testis and ovary, both are present in the same individual. So that is why the male gamete or the spermatozoa and the female gamete and the egg cell are produced in the same individual. Of course, self-fertilization does not occur, that is a separate thing, but these are bisexual in nature. So that is why some organisms or animals are bisexual, some are unisexual. In case of plants also, the flowers which are formed here, the flowers are maybe bisexual flowers or unisexual flowers. Flowers are unisexual or bisexual in nature. So in case of unisexual flower, we shall discuss in detail in the reproduction in flowering plants, and there we shall discuss in detail. Here normally the sepals, petals and stamens are present in case of male flower, and this is called staminate flower. This is the staminate flower. But in case of another flower, that is called pistillate flower, and here sepals are present, no doubt, and the petals are also present, these are the accessory whole, and the pistil is present, but no stamen is there. So that is why this is called pistillate flower or female flower. It is a pistillate flower or it is called a female flower. But in some flower, both stamen and pistil are there. So these are called bisexual flower. the sepals are present, then petals are also present, but the male reproductive whole, that is stamen, the stamens are present as well as the pistil are present. So that is why these type of flowers are called bisexual flower, and here it is the female flower and it is the male flower. In some cases, the male flowers are present in the separate plant. Suppose this is a plant, and in this plant only male flowers are there. So if male flowers are there, then this is the plant, it is an unisexual plant, it is a male plant. And sometimes the plant is totally different, that is a female plant, because it is a female plant. So here only female flowers are there. So that is why they are called unisexual plants, or it is called dioecious plant. So the plants are also dioecious, or they are called unisexual. Now next one, some plants they are having both the flowers in them, but the flowers are unisexual. But what about the plants? The plants are bisexual, because the plants they are having both the flowers in them. So that is why the plant is bisexual, but the flowers are unisexual, like your cucumber. And here, suppose this is a plant, and in this plant both male and female flower, the male flower as well as female flower, both are there. So that is why the plant is bisexual, because both the flowers are there. But these flowers are unisexual. It is a unisexual flower and it is another unisexual. It is the female flower, it is the male flower. So here the pollination occurs from this flower to this flower. That means from the stamen the male gametes are transferred to the pistil here. So in case of cucumber, and there are so many other gourd varieties, and in some other plants you will find this type of unisexual flowers, but they are present in the same plant. That is, the plant is bisexual, but the flowers are unisexual. But some other plants, they are having both the flowers, they are bisexual flower. Bisexual means what? In the same flower, both sepals, petals, stamens, these are the male part, and the pistils, this is the female part. So all are present in the same flower. So this plant, it is also, you can say, bisexual, and all the flowers, they are also bisexual in nature. So that is why this type of flowers are present in the different plants. We shall study in detail about the structure of the flower and how the gametogenesis occurs in the flower. Here, that is called the formation of the gamete, that is called the microsporogenesis. That is the microsporogenesis, the formation of microspore, or you can say the pollen grain. Then we shall study in detail about the megasporogenesis, and this megasporogenesis which occurs here, the megaspores, or you can say the egg cells, megaspore or the egg cells are formed here. So that is why this is called gametogenesis, and this is microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. But in case of animals, this gametogenesis normally occurs in the male animal and in case of female animals. So here this is the gametogenesis. In case of animal, either it is the spermatogenesis, the formation of spermatozoa, and the next one it is the oogenesis. So after the spermatogenesis and oogenesis, the sperms or the male gametes are formed, and the egg or the female gamete are formed, and now the male gamete and the female gamete, they fuse together to form the zygote, and from the zygote the new organism develops, or this is the new organism starts from your embryo. So this development of the embryo, it is called embryogenesis. This embryogenesis process occurs after the fertilization. Okay. Then in case of plants also, here after the fusion of the male gamete or your pollen, when this pollen fuses with the egg cell, then double fertilization occurs here. First one, that is the fusion of pollen with the egg, it is called syngamy, and after the syngamy, then the triple fusion occurs, we shall discuss in detail in the next chapter. Triple fusion occurs and which develop into the endosperm or the reserve food material, and after that, the embryo which is developed inside the body of the plant, it undergoes the different changes in case of monocot plant, in case of dicot plant. But this process is very much distinct and clear in case of developed plant or in case of higher plant. Now, last phase, that is your senescence phase. In case of senescence phase, normally in case of plants and animals, after their reproductive phase or after the completion of the reproductive phase, gradually they become weak, they lose their power of reproduction, they lose their power of gamete formation. So that is why the body is gradually degenerate and body is gradually weak. So that is why this is called senescence phase. And during this senescence phase, it is also called the old age. And during this old age, normally the metabolic slows down, metabolic process or metabolism, it is normally slows down, and normally the growth does not occur. And here, what happens? The reproductive power or reproductive capacity is lost. And this reproductive capacity is lost in case of human being. There are different cycles which occur, that is called female reproductive cycle. In case of non-primate, that is called estrous cycle. And in case of primate mammal, that is called your menstrual cycle. So these female reproductive cycles normally start during the early stage of reproduction and they normally stop here. That is called menopause. And after the menopause, normally in case of human being, around 45 to 50 years, they lose their power of production of the female gamete. No female gamete will form at that time. So that is why it is the indication of old age. And there are some metabolic disorders also occurs in the body. And here estrous cycle also stops. That is why no gametes are formed here. So, but in case of males, of course, this old phase, during old phase, the gametes are formed, but in case of females, it is normally do not have the capacity to form the female gamete and the bearing of the child. Then during this senescence phase, what happens? Normally, after the flowering, in case of annual plant, after flowering, they normally die. Then in case of biennial, after flowering and formation of the fruit, then dispersal of the fruits occur, and after that they die. But in case of perennial plant, of course, this senescence is, there is no complete senescence. There is only leaf senescence you will observe every year. The leaf senescence is there, and then sometimes the stem senescence are there. These are different phases in case of plant. But in case of animal, the complete body senescence occur, and after the old age, they normally die. And this is called death. So in case of animal, the starting is the birth, then end is the death. But in case of plant, normally the complete death occurs sometimes, but there are partial senescence, like your leaf senescence, like your stem senescence. There are so many other senescence occur, and the whole plant death does not occur simultaneously. But in case of animal, the whole animal die at a time. So these are the different phases of the sexual reproduction in case of organisms, both in plants and animals. I hope this video will be beneficial for you. If it is really beneficial for you, then please like it and subscribe for further videos. Thank you. Thank you very much.